welcome back. WeArEuS, and this is the growth between your toes if you do not properly keep them cleaned. This is Pathfinder, Wrath of the Righteous. Or Wrath of the Toe Jam if that's okay with you. And so, I have finally gotten around to finishing off Xanther Vang and his seemingly infinite cloud of locusts.
Godspeed.
And of course, Jerebeth is being gangbanged in the corner by the treants. Why? I guess that's just how she rolls. Anyway. Let's just move past this. Sinedra. Yeah, this is where we stopped. Yeah. Right here.
But you're hardly interested in my trials and tribulations. Listen, the crystals are brought here directly from the abyss, from the Midnight Isles, the realm of Lady Nocticula, with her permission and approval. Hepzibah herself, the daughter of Lord Baphomet, oversees the shipments herself. Xanther has always been in charge of the transformations, but he was not the one who devised the ritual or discovered the crystal's properties. The architect taught him that. She, Aurelu Vorlesh, is unbearably arrogant. She thinks she has the right to push real demons around. So don't think that you solved this problem for good. Sooner or later, Aurelu will share the secret of the ritual with another, and demons more powerful than you.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
And demons more powerful than you will inundate the lands of the world moon once more.
At this point, I think I could easily kill her, but I don't care. Unless she wants to dance, I'm all for it then, in that case. But since we're here, and I'm always so curious, let's find out as much as we can. Also, before we do go on, I would like to say I read the book, and, I literally read Xanther Vang's notes and the note left by one of his students. In doing so, when you right click on the items and click info, a prompt appears above Morrow's head, or your character's head, that says you've learned something. I don't know what I'm supposed to do with that information. Quite literally, I don't know what I'm supposed to do with the information, and I've learned something with from the information I've read. I mean, I went through Morrow's spells because I gave him the spell book, the book that adds more spell slots for his first, second, and third level sorcerer class. I think that's what it is. Caster class? Whatever. But there were no new spells. I can't turn into locusts, at least not yet. I don't know what I accomplished with that. Anyway. And tell me about who you served. Who commands the demon forces in the world wound?
Lord Descari was the one who started the invasion. Aurelu Vorlesh opened the world wound for him, and she expanded it for him. Later he was joined by my master, Lord Baphomet, now former master. Few people know that Lady Nocticula has been helping them from the shadows, as is her wont, but commanding forces, battles, all that is beneath the notice of the Lords of the Abyss. Each of them have their archpriest. Deskari has his echo, literally a lesser incarnation of Deskari himself. Baphomet's forces are led by the ruthless Hepzibah, his daughter by blood. Each of the archpriests have a host of powerful beings at their command, such as myself, Minago, Darazand, and the captivating Xanthir. We mustn't forget him. And then there is...
All is silent in your head for a moment.
Then there is her, Aureliu Vorlesh, the architect of the world wound, as she's called. Born a pitiful mortal, not a demon, not even reborn in death like Xanthir. She stands apart from all others. She goes where she wants, talks to the archpriest as an equal, and everyone else, and sees everyone else as underlings, nothing more. I'm not even sure if she obeys the echo of Deskari or if he obeys her.
What do you know about Aureliu Vorlesh? Your head is filled with a harsh rattling sound. It seems that Jerabeth is angry.
Aureliu Vorlesh. 100 years ago she was a human, a common eldritch sorceress from Sarkoris. But Sarkoris did not care for arcane magic users. Druids, shamans, and priests ruled those lands, and they despised anyone who wielded magic in ways different to their own. The mages held in greatest suspicion saw their days in the prison.
Ah, okay.
Mages held in greatest suspicion saw out their days in the prison known as Threshold, and that is where Aureliu was held. From her cell she appealed to Lord Deskari, and for some reason he saw something in that pathetic mortal plaything that was worthy of his attention. No one knows what they spoke of, what they did. But Aureliu emerged from her cell utterly changed. She emerged when the earth all around was fracturing, and all Galarians shuddered from the wound inflicted on it. Right there within the walls of Threshold, the world wound began to break open. Aureliu changed her very nature, turned herself into a half-fiend on her own, or with the Lord's help, I don't know. Her powers grew exponentially, and many of Deskari's generals surging through the wound into Galarian saw her as a queen. Gutless losers. Aurelia was entirely unaffected by her fame. It was as if nothing could provoke her, not the hatred of her former people, not the fear and envy of demons. And this is how she is to this day. She roams between the planes alone, pursuing her own ends. Aureliu Vorlesh, betrayer of humanity, architect of everything you see around you. And finally, Xanthir said that there's a place called the Midnight Fane directly below Dresden. What do you know about it? The Midnight Fane, of course. It was built in the bowels of the earth below Dresden, so deep underground that even the power of the mighty Sword of Valor cannot reach it. It is a chapel of 3 demon lords, Deskari, Baphomet, and Nocticula. All of the world wound is connected, fused with the abyss, but this place especially so. It contains a rift known as the Gates of Midnight. The chapel is protected against any invasion. All visitors from the Midnight Isles go there. Minago and Darazand have built their nests there. I enjoyed spending time there myself until it became too unruly. Well, that's it. The Narrow Shadow bows to you. Doing business with you has been interesting, Crusader. Farewell. I am leaving for the Abyss for a new patroness somewhere where Hepzibah's wrath cannot reach me. Perhaps one day the World Wound will again be a place where I can continue my game, but
Perhaps not. Who knows? We also received an additional 6,400 XP on top of the 2,400. We are already halfway to level 14. Feels pretty good. From here, there's really nothing else to be done. Right? Yeah, it's pretty straightforward from here to here, so I'm going to send these people this way, and as for you guys, well, you're going to get the opportunity to skip directly from this point to whenever I find something interesting. At the very least, when I continue with the story. In whatever way I choose to do so, that is. So, bye for now. Okay. Oh, this is those two, isn't it? Well, I was finally wondering when we get more progress on the Kaylessa. Is that her name? I don't remember which one. Well, I can't be bothered to find it. So, hopefully you guys remember. I really wanted to know if I had the name right. But regardless, we've still got, I'm pretty sure everyone's buffs have worn off. Well, no, we teleported here. We teleported to Dresden, but got the notification that there was someone in the road. I don't understand how that's even possible, but here we are. And so,
Soot is restless.
just to be
why.
safe,
Doubt is the heart's greatest challenge.
also I like when I do it like
the waiting
this.
is never fun.
So we'll just
You
have
require my counsel.
everyone.
I will help where I can.
Let us not hesitate.
It'd be really embarrassing if there were a fight and whoever we were fighting could just dispel summons. From nothing, there were 5. And that's it. Make sure we quick save before we interact with Forn Autumn Haze, if that is your real name, good sir. Oh, it appears he's gotten his butt kicked for the 2nd time. Before you, exhausted and seated on the ground, is none other than Forn. He looks up at you in surprise. Commander, I wasn't expecting to see you here. It appears my luck hasn't run out just yet. May I ask for your help? You notice a sizable amount of blood pooled by his legs. A belt is tied around one leg below the knee, but that doesn't appear to have stopped the bleeding. First, we should check the area. It's a little too barren for my liking. Succeeding at a perception check, we notice that Forn's strength has failed him at the worst possible time. He has stopped to rest in the middle of an open area where a deadly arrow may come flying from any direction, and anyone approaching him will likewise be in danger. Hey, Lan, could you... His nature... Oh, that requires a check of 11. Well, that requires him to roll an 11. What are you doing here? I was tracking Kaylessa and found her lair not far from here. Again we fought, and again she was able to wound me. She is following my trail here as we speak. Let's try and assess his wound, and fail the nature check. You know, I've been wanting to say this, but I find all of this very suspicious. He can't be trusted. An elf seems to have appeared out of thin air. She shoots Forn a hateful glare. This is a trap. Forn is an assassin of the Winter Council, and he's come here to kill you. Grabbing his weapon, Forn shouts out forcefully. Watch out. She's stronger and deadlier than she looks. Slay her before she kills us both. Well, in for a penny, in for a pound. We already healed her back at Dresden. We helped get that place under control. And while I don't exactly trust her, I made the decision to at least believe her, I guess? Why would Forn want to kill me? He's a cold-blooded assassin sent by the Winter Council. That cabal of scumbags dispatches him whenever it needs an inconvenient truth covered up. And as for anyone unlikely enough to learn such truths that might sully our people's good name, well, he washes it all away with their blood. Forn mutters, his face scrunched up in contempt. Another lie. Will you ever tire of your deceit, accursed wretch? Why did you decide to intervene? You spared me. Let's say I'm repaying my debt. She gives you a stony look. Or do you think that since I'm a drow, I don't know the meaning of honor? None of this concerns me. I'm leaving. I'm going to decide to believe Kaylessa and Forn. Your deception ends here. Yeah. Forn rises to his feet. His movements make it obvious that his injured leg was nothing more than a ruse. That is a shame. If you had just believed me, this would have been over more quickly and less painfully. It's unlikely that my associates will grant you an easy death now. Not hiding his contempt, Forn nods in the direction of the dark elves that have appeared out of the shadows. Are you out of your mind? I was tasked with keeping the secrets Kaylessa discovered from getting out. Knowing your reputation, I was certain that you would otherwise have unearthed them in short order, therefore I had no choice but to do this. No one is to blame for this, it's just the way things turned out. Was Kaylessa right that you served the Winter Council? Forn's voice is full of pride. I serve my people and no one else. Being an elf is not just a privilege, it's an obligation that I bear with honor, no matter how heavily it may weigh on me at times. Kaylessa's words are cold and biting. Liar! You serve a pack of unscrupulous scumbags, a clique of self-righteous schemers. In order to protect their lives, you murder the innocent, and then you hide behind words like duty. Duty. How could you ally yourselves with the drow? Are you a demon worshipper? His voice trembles tragically. I did not seek this perverted alliance, yet it was inevitable. These extreme circumstances forced me to end your life. And Amora also sought your death, so joining forces was mutually beneficial. If things were different, I would be the first to rise up against her, but it just so happens that you have suddenly become a greater threat to my nation than she is. Kaylessa is scowling, her tone acerbic. The Winter Council believes that honor is the perfect shield against any accusations of ignominious acts. And yet you asked for my help in your hunt for Kaylessa. Why? I would have preferred not to have involved you in this matter and to put her to death myself. Then I wouldn't have had to kill you as well. Forn sighs quietly, but after my first clash with Kaylessa, I realized I didn't have the strength. Thus I decided to use you instead, and I provided some motivation. I set up those skirmishes with the drow so that my words would seem more plausible. I regret that I had to stoop to such baseness, but even more, I regret that it was unsuccessful. Can't we all just get along? Shaking his head sadly, Forn says in a quiet voice, I'm afraid not, Commander. We can't. Okay. Let's do this. Forn addresses you in a calm, somewhat sorrowful manner. I am sorry for having to do this. Believe me, I take no pleasure in carrying out this order, but circumstances are stronger than our desires.
Close ranks.
Good news is we've still got a lot of summons left, so even though we don't have buffs right now, well, the buffs we had should still be active since we only teleported here. It's just really good news, to be honest. I have no idea where this encounter was supposed to have occurred, but I'm just glad that it still happens. So, Land doesn't get his full attack, so he might as well make it good. Also, Grease is not... Actually, it might work against these idiots. Pretty sure the treants won't give two craps about the Grease being there, but I'm still slightly worried that they'll all end up face down. I mean, it would only make them tankier, which is frankly all I really need them for, but they do damage too. Ooh, 77. I really don't want Ivu up front, so I'm going to leave all of my people back here for right now. Let her get this. How do we do this? Ooh, we could go with Phantasmal Web. Just look at that area. Nope, it only affects enemies. So we'll put it here. Next turn. Good. Move up my green front line. Take them. Actually, I'm going to do this and make their lives a living nightmare by leaving my forces completely unaffected. I have no idea how this is going to affect Kaylessa, though. So let's do it like this. Right, she can't do that right now. Guess she has to move up. Great. And you get temporary HP, and you get temporary HP. Okay, now I want an archer that casts spells with their bow. I must have it. So are we just going to ignore that she hit every one of her shots -1 against an enemy that was invisible? Lan, do not embarrass me. Oh. No, I won't be able to reveal them all in time. So it'll have to go like this.
You crossed the wrong mongrel.
Lan, you're embarrassing me in front of Kaylessa. There we go. And... well, he's just going to stand there and watch the rest of his people die, I guess. Let's just put a tree in the mix over here. Dealt 0 damage to the tree. You know what? That seems fair. Let's do this.
You.
Wow. These trees are broken. Or these guys are severely... yeah, they're pretty low level.
Retreat is not an option.
What are we going to do? Oh, yeah. Because I really just want to cast it. Thank goodness Kaylessa doesn't actually have to move. Weird. Why did the notification appear above his own head? I guess we'll never know. Move up. Well, not a fan of them missing. Really? Actually, no. That's right. Tickle that tree. I think I'm going to move Darren over to Kaylessa.
You won't survive me.
Well.
The inheritor. Guide my blade.
Kneel before me.
Because why not?
This one's mine. Press the attack. Retreat is not an option.
Fine. You know, I've been noticing lately that sometimes when Morrow summons something... Ooh, right, I forgot about this. Oh, this is just cheating now. I've noticed sometimes that when Morrow summons something, on occasion, just on occasion, sometimes he gets another turn immediately after. Strangely, though, he got another turn after Regil, but... Okay, let's finally get this done so we can kill these guys. Wow, just absolutely reamed. We like that. Leave him alone? Meanwhile, they have seemingly forgotten about Kaylessa. Thankfully, she did not forget about them. Oh, this is just so fair.
Into the fray.
Yeah. Yeah, we like this.
Kneel before me.
I mean, I could cast Sirocco, but, like, why? No, I think that's fine. We've done it. Good God, that's a lot of dead people that never really stood a chance. More of the concealment nonsense. Why do I have that one there? Oh, that's why. Yeah, we like that. The radius on that bounce was actually a lot bigger than I thought it would be. Or chain. They're not going to be targeting her, so I'm not going to bother moving Darren anymore. And that's that. Even in the face of death, Forn maintains a calm, melancholic expression. I knew I would die like this, on the edge of the world, defending the threads of nobility that weave my race into a single glorious nation. At least I do not die in vain. Whose orders are you following? He just smiles sadly. You think that since I'm at death's door I will reveal the secrets of my superiors? You're mistaken. I and others like me know how to make our hearts stop beating before any treacherous words can spill from our mouths, and will remain loyal until the end. He's clearly not ashamed of what he did, or tried to do at least. Which is just... Why are you glowing? Which is just... fine, I guess. Oh, he's right there. That's what... Okay. I was confused for a moment, considering that he's invisible for some odd reason. So I guess that's just it, then? I mean, he hasn't been rude to me, so I'm not going to go calling him a backstabbing wretch, but, just... Night-night, buddy. Rexwell suddenly gives Forn a quick salute. Upon meeting your gaze, he calmly explains. It may have been an enemy. God, I can... The noise from the... whatever that spell is kind of grating on my nerves and making it difficult to focus on the voice of our dear Regil. He may have been an enemy, but I recognize his commitment to duty. He is a good soldier. Forn closes his eyes and a quiet, peaceful breath escapes his lips. His chest stops heaving, and the fingers he had wrapped around his weapon go limp. There's a deep bitterness in Kaylessa's voice. He even managed to die gracefully, despite being a complete scoundrel. Can I finally get an explanation as to what just happened? Forn wasn't a dark hunter, he was just a hunter. He served the Winter Council, a powerful elven organization. It wants me dead because I've learned of a very dark secret. That's why they sent Forn to kill me, and everyone I could potentially have told about it. Meaning you. Tell me everything. With a weary sigh, she says in a hollow voice, I was born in Kyonin in the blessed forest of the elves. I was different back then, pure and noble, but no matter how beautiful and fair Kyonin was, it had its share of injustice, cruelty, and crimes committed with impunity. And I never could stand crimes going unpunished. I joined the Sunset Wasps, a secret sect of vigilantes dedicated to Callistria. By night we would bring justice to those whom the law had failed to punish, liars, traitors, molesters, murderers. But the further we went, the more our doubts grew. We asked ourselves, how reliable was the information we were getting? Could there have been any mistakes? But it was too late. The whole time we were puppets in the hands of a priestess of Deskari by the name of Anamora. That monster had been toying with us, using us to kill innocents. The Wasp was revealed to be a locust, and we were unmasked as criminals, outcasts. We were wanted and had nowhere to turn. The only option was to bend the knee to Anamora, who promised us protection. I was the only one who refused, but I was captured and taken by force. Then, under Anamora's watchful eye, our apprenticeship began. We did horrible, dark things, bathing in violence and spite. Myself included. I did them too. At first I was controlled by magic, and they broke me. And the dark fate, the curse of our people took us one by one, until finally it embraced me as well. When I saw the monster I had become, I mustered what remained of my will and fled. I wanted to tell everyone the truth, tell them how we were caught in the demon's trap. Let the world know about the dark fate, but Anamora's hunters, my former comrades, came for me, and they weren't the only ones as it turned out. Tell me more about Anamora. She is a true drow, one who never was a normal elf, and even among drow, she's a dangerous monster, the deadliest of Deskari's servants. I've heard that before. Fear her. Her flesh nurses swarms of terrifying creatures, and her mind. I've learned the danger of her guile firsthand. The Winter Council, what sort of organization is it? The Winter Council is a legend, but few doubt its existence. It's said to be a clique of influential elves of Kyonin, a mysterious group that watches over the interests of elven kind, protecting them, by any means necessary. Murder, espionage, blackmail. No tool is excessive for them if the reputation and honor of the Elven nation are at stake. When I decided to tell the world the truth about the Dark Fate, the bane of our kind, I signed my own death warrant in the eyes of the Winter Council. They don't want else to be tarnished by their association with the ignoble Drow. They're too scared of being held responsible for the crimes of their dark cousins. It's better to hide this dangerous truth than destroy everyone who knows it. And even though I'm pretty sure we all know what the Dark Fate entails, let's get the details directly from the source, as it were. Well, saying the source makes it sound like she's the cause of the dark. Anyway, it's been assumed since time immemorial that the Drow are either a degenerate branch of our kind or an abhorrent perversion, a mockery fostered by the dark gods. But the truth is that the chasm between the elves and the Drow is much smaller than one might think. Any elf can become a Drow. Absolutely anyone. Whenever an elf commits unthinkable evil, letting darkness into their heart, they may one day transform. The Dark Fate is a state of the soul of an unrepentant malefactor who detests the light. An elf like that is no different from a Drow, both in appearance and in spirit, and thus they become a Drow. Kaylessa smiles mirthlessly. Her face shows the immense fatigue of the months of wandering, fighting for survival. With such cruel irony, the elves were trying so desperately to convince everyone that they have nothing to do with the Drow, the most vile, horrid race in the world, and it turns out that the distance between a normal elf and a Drow is but a single step. So what now? Now I ask one last favor of you. I still have friends left in Kyonin, real friends, ones I can trust. Send a letter to Avenara, to the leader of the Border Defenders. Recount my tragic tale so that it doesn't die as the Winter Council wants it to. Since I won't have the chance to speak this truth myself. Because you will have to end my life now. She looks at you warily, calmly. There is neither threat nor fear in her words, only a plea for, and acceptance of, the inevitable. Why do you seek death? The Dark Fate is claiming me. I can feel the malevolence and the hatred in my heart growing fiercer with each day that passes. The memories of the crimes I was forced to commit are clouding the world before me. I refuse to tread this path any further, to turn into a monster. If you have mercy, I beg of you, kill me and end my torment. She's right. She's in pain. I can see it in her eyes. This pain can't be healed, so it'll be a mercy to let her go. I mean, hope springs eternal, so at the very least we can see what possible limits our mythic powers might have. Maybe my mythic powers can return you to the path of light. Your curse can't be irreversible. Deep-seated fear appears on Kaylessa's face. No more. I've already been changed once, and I won't let anyone do it to me again. Even if you want to save me, know that I would sooner slit my own throat than allow my soul to be reshaped once more. So we basically just have to kill her. Because, I mean, don't get me wrong, I understand the way she feels about, well, having herself be manipulated in such a way. Are you absolutely sure that you can't be saved? If there's a dark fate, could there be a light fate? Maybe good deeds could heal you. With a bitter smile, Kaylessa shakes her head. A light fate? Wouldn't that be nice, but no such blessing exists. The road into darkness only goes one way, and I've almost reached its end. The dark impulses in my heart have been growing stronger by the day. It's been getting harder and harder to remain myself, to resist the urges. I've spent all my strength. When I saw Forn dying, I almost howled in delight. I wanted to dig my nails into his face, gouge out his eyes, mangle him, and rejoice. It's not me anymore. It's the beast I've been turned into, and it will break free very soon. These are the last minutes of the old Kaylessa's life. Please don't delay and spare me the fate of becoming a monster. I genuinely wonder what would happen if I were to tell her that I wouldn't do it. Goodbye, soldier. And with that, he hits her across the forehead with a stick. Well. Good God, this bunch had a lot of really nice stuff. All of it's coming with me. Ooh. I almost missed this. Thank goodness. Okay. Ugh. And so that signs the end of, well, Kaylessa's story, let's say. We still have the task of alerting her friend as to her fate and to the reason behind it. But that's probably going to be taken care of off screen. But if it's possible, I will do it. I will have it recorded. Now we're closing in on an hour of recording time, so I'm probably going to end the video here. I know, pretty much nothing happened. We spoke to Jerabeth, and then we were immediately brought here. I'm okay with that. I was not expecting the bit involving Kaylessa and Forn to transpire. At least not like that. Not so suddenly. But surprises come when they want. And so, with all that said, we will see you next time.
You see?